Scientists and engineers are patting each other on the back over the latest pictures they've received from Mars. At the same time, they're scratching their heads over a problem with the six-wheeled rover. It's only had partial communication with the lander, apparently because of a problem in the rover's computer modem.
The rover team worked very hard last night to look at various options. What can we do? There's a lot of things that we can do to fix these things. It's amazing what you can do from 120 million miles away.
Even if the problem cannot be solved, the rover can still creep off the lander and explore some of the Martian terrain on its own.
The rover has automatic software on board where once it is freed and the ramps are deployed, the rover will in fact drive down those ramps on its own without the help of the lander or without the help of our rover drivers here at JPL.
But engineers want to command or drive the rover themselves so they can analyze specific rocks and areas of Martian soil.
There's definitely two different types of soil here. That may be that some of the soil is brought in by a wind process and dropped onto this scene and therefore isn't really native to this area. Or it may be for some other reason.
The clear, sharp pictures also show there seem to be different kinds of rock. In one area, they're slanted in the same northwesterly direction, perhaps confirming that a flood swept through the region. Also, hills can be seen on the Martian horizon, and the rim of a deep crater lies only a couple of miles away.
The most mysterious thing in this picture is this little object on the horizon that has been likened to a couch. Somebody suggested there's a homeless person camped out there.
The Pathfinder team is obviously in good spirits, confident, and excited about the information it's received. And of course, its mission is far from over. Jim Hill, CNN, at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California.
And for the very latest now on the Pathfinder mission, we go live to Pasadena and CNN's John Zarrella. John, the mission controllers are saying that the communication situation is degraded and not lost entirely. What's the status of the situation right now?
Lyndon, just a few minutes ago, I was talking to one of the chief scientists here at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and he said to me, you know, this is what exploration is all about. If you're not pushing the envelope, if you're not pushing the limits, if you don't have problems, then you're not really doing exploration. And that's what they're out there now doing, testing all new technologies that have never been used before. And what they are doing now is they've sent commands up to the spacecraft, to the lander, and they are waiting to get information back, and that should come in about an hour and a half. When they get that information, that downlink back, they will know whether the ramp has been deployed and whether the rover has stood up. The rover can't do anything unless they can get it to stand up. So that's a very critical thing that's going to happen in the next couple hours. They'll find out if indeed that happened. If not, they plan to send some more commands up and try and get the rover to execute those commands. If all that happens as we progress through the evening, later this evening, the rover will finally get off of the ramp. The rover will then take pictures of the lander. And then we will really get the geologists tantalized as they will finally be able to get some samplings of some rocks that they really want to get that rover over there to so that it can start using that spectrometer it has and sniffing those rocks and doing chemical analysis. They're very confident here. They do believe they can work these glitches out. After all, they sent this spacecraft 120 million miles, as you pointed out, which was no small task, and managed to do some phenomenal work up to this point. Now, this has to be considered a successful mission, they say. Early on in the project, they were telling me that if they just landed on Mars safely, if they just got one picture back, this would be a successful mission. So already, Lyndon, they have far exceeded any of their goals, although obviously as scientists who are pushing the envelope, they want to get that rover off. It is the centerpiece of this mission, and we're going to be building up to some exciting moments throughout the day and evening today. Lyndon?
What else are they hoping for in terms of changing conditions that may help them with the reestablishment of that communications link, John?
Well, what we have now is that the sun has come up on Mars, so they're getting the heating of the day, and they are also then able to get the solar batteries charged up. The vehicle basically goes to sleep during the Martian night, and now it's awake. And also the Earth, which is a morning star in Mars, has risen a few hours ago, which will make it better and better for them to communicate with the vehicle on Mars. hard to believe we're saying that, talking to Mars, but that's exactly what they're doing. And as with the Earth rise and the sun rise, it makes it much, much easier for them to send these commands and to get the signals. This is a Mars day, so this is the timetable that they are working on right now. Lyndon?
Well, we're going to be holding our breath along with all the folks at NASA. John, thanks very
Yes,
much.
indeed.
CNN's John Zarrella in Pasadena. NASA plans a news conference in a few hours to give us an update on the Pathfinder, and you can catch it right here. CNN's live coverage begins at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific.